I'm here to talk about a few shortcuts you can do in Excel. I'm using 2016. It works with any version, even if you're on a Mac. For example, I have Monday typed in here. You get the black crosshair in the corner. Pull it down. It gives you the days of the week. It also works with the abbreviations. You can also drag it to the right. Like if I have Tuesday there and you want to make columns, pull it over to the right. I'm just going to erase this. I'm going to be doing a few more things. And it also works with months. So that way, if you need to get all the months of the year, and I miss, let's say, December, black crosshair. Make sure you're using the black crosshair. If I'm doing something, for example, I click inside January, and if I just drag it down, it's not going to work. Don't get the dagger, which I've talked about in some of my classes. You got that. You're just moving it. Be careful. If you have 1 and 2 together, you pull it down. It gives you sequential numbering. Let's say I have 10 and 20. I highlight these two numbers, pull it down, goes to 170. Also works with certain things, like if I have event 1, I have that, I just drag it down a little bit. You could talk about McGillicuddy 1, it'll go down McGillicuddy 2. It will do a sequential filling in. What I want to talk about now is formatting. Let's say you're doing an address list. I'm just going to delete everything. I highlight everything here in that corner there. It's like Control A in Word. And let's say you're doing a list. You're doing a mailing or keeping records of people. And what I have here, I have the social security number, the zip code, and their phone number. I just typed that in there. And I could type in the zip code 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, it did widen here. I could right click inside here and go into Format Cells. And then I go to Special. I go to Social Security number. It puts a dash in there automatically. However, if I'm doing this 2, 2, 2, 5, 5, 4, 4, 4, 4. You don't want to have to do it consistently for every cell. What I was just doing, highlight the column that it's going to be in, right click, Format Cells, Special, Social Security number. If you type one down here, so we have that. When you're mailing, for the most part, if you're in New York or Beverly Hills 90210, it works great. But let's say you're sending something to downtown Stanford or whatever, 06907, or New Jersey. It doesn't put the zeros there. You want to format this here. I'm going to highlight the column, Format Cells, Special, Zip Code. Unless you have the zip plus 4. You get the 0 there, so that way if you got Greenwich, 10210, 50, whatever, everything is getting that 00. One thing I will say, if you're doing a mail merge from Excel, it's not going to pick up the 0. That is another lesson in itself. You have the person's phone number, and typically it would be like 914, let's say 555-1111. That looks really ugly. You like the parentheses, the dashes, and the spaces. You want to save time. Again, I'm going to highlight the column. I'm going to go into here, Special, Phone Number. So if I do that, saves a lot of time. Next thing I want to talk about are dates. You hired somebody, okay? And you could say date hired. And what it is here, you could just type in, let's say, 525. I go back in here. It's going to say the year because I did the slash there. I want to change the appearance of the date. Highlight the column first. I go into date. You've got a gazillion choices. It's showing things here from like 2012 or whatever. But if I go into here, I could go into the word here. It's too narrow, widen it. I'm going to make it a little bit wider. And if I did it like they were hired, let's say 4-3, April 3rd, it's going to do that. But let's say they were hired in 2014. You type /14, it goes into there. Other thing too, you can do with the dates. They are a number. All these three things here, social security number, zip, and phone, are labels. You don't do any calculations off of them. But if I want to do something here with my list here, let's say I'm doing, I'm just going to get rid of this. Let's say I want to know every week, okay? You could add 7 to it, okay? And if I go down below, I say equal this plus 7. And then I could drag it down. So I've got all those dates of every week doing that. These are good time savers when you're doing lists or anything like that. And one last thing. If you're ever doing something here, like let's say I'm putting another zip code here for, let's say, a ship to address, and I have 06608. I go into format cells. It's only showing it here because I am still in the edit mode. I'm not getting all those tabs. I hit the cancel. This is still in the active editing. I have to do the checkbox. Now I can go into there and go into number, special, zip. And I did zip plus 4 by accident. I can always undo. Another thing too, you can also do, nice feature, we have the thing called the format painter. I want this to look like that. I click on one of these cells. I'm on the home tab. You hit the brush, I click on that. Another example I will show you. Let's say I want to do the fax number. And I typed in 201-444-5555. Didn't do it, but watch this. I click over here, click on that. Too narrow. You got that applied to it. It would be like, let's say I made this bold, red, center, and I made it a nice different font, 14 point. And let's say I made this Air Blanca. Again, I could use the brush there, drag over these cells. Great way to format things quickly.